All right, I have all these forged now, and I'll just go down through them. I'll start with my chisels. So I made 2 chisels out of this. One is just a straight chisel. I know it's a little hard to see in the video while I was filing, but that's just a regular straight chisel. It's pretty small. And this one, I just kind of rounded the tip off a little bit just so it would turn a little bit easier, but it's still just a chisel. I have a planishing, just a square-headed planishing punch. Right here I have an outside diameter butcher. And I set all these at 60 degrees, and that's the only information I've seen on chasing tools. And I'm sure that there's different angles, but 60 degrees seems to work well for what I got going on. But that's the outside. This is a straight butcher, set at 60 degrees again. Let's see, right here I just have a fuller, so it's just round on the one side. And I used a Scotch-Brite on all these just to knock the edges off a little bit so they weren't too sharp. Here's just a ball punch. And then the inside curve. So this one was a pain. I had to use a half-round file to try to get that in there. And then the outside, I kind of just took these corners off right here just to kind of make that thing have a little bit of a radius. And this is all made out of just coil spring, which is not the greatest material, but it hardens up all right. And for my first attempt at these, I didn't want to go out and buy some expensive material. I rounded off these ends too, just so I could hit them at different angles. They're all relatively the same length, pretty short, so I could have a little bit more stability. This is all cold work anyways. Now I just worked on this little simple shape right here. So I run the butcher down through here to shove this material back this way, and then I use the planishing tool to kind of just shove it around a little bit. And I really like how it turned out. It's just a fun little thing to move material without engraving, and it's a little bit fancier than chisel marks. And I want to practice on this. I think I'm going to use clay because clay is probably my best medium to try to work with this a little bit until I get used to it. But I have an upcoming project that I want to try to do a little bit of fancy work, and these are going to work perfect for that. So I ended up with 8 of these, and I think that was a pretty good number. It was a good starting batch of these to go with. It was a lot of fun to make. It's a little bit of work just to do the filing. The rest of it's pretty easy. I mean, just forging 2 tapers, that's not too hard. But I think that it's a great project, and I'm excited to try to do a little bit more of this work to try to fancy up projects a little bit better. It is time consuming, I will give it that. That took me, I don't know how long I was right there. I went into a trance messing with this, probably a half an hour, 40 minutes. And I didn't really accomplish a whole lot. So I hope you enjoyed this week's video. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next week.